What are the chances of seeing Evan Rachel Wood's Dolores again? How did Caleb influence her original plan? And what does Bernard's journey to the Sublime mean for Westworld Season 4? Hi, I'm Dylan, and you're watching Awesome Movies. Is Dolores really gone? Westworld is one of the most controversial shows, and that's the reason for its success. Its subplots are many seasons long, they have their own complicated timelines, and moreover, they get seriously twisted up in the finale. We could hardly expect that Westworld's driving force, Dolores, would be gone by the end of Season 3's finale. Or is she? In search of the key to the Sublime, which Sarek believes is in Dolores' head, he orders Rehoboam to dig as deep as possible into her mind. But the fact is that she doesn't actually have the key, so we see all of Dolores' memories being wiped out one by one, and with them, her personality is gone too. Denise Thay, who co-wrote the episode Crisis Theory, confirmed this by saying in an interview with The Wrap that for her it was the right time to say goodbye to this version of Dolores. So, was it all planned in advance? What happened to Dolores' original plan? Throughout Season 2, we thought that her plan was to free the hosts, no matter how many humans died in the process. And at the end of the second season, we assumed that Dolores was leaving the park with the intention of getting rid of the human race. Little by little, we saw her plan come true in Season 3, only the means of achieving her goal had changed. Instead of building an army of robots and killing all humans, Dolores thought up a way to make humanity destroy itself. So, watching the massive riots after Insight's profiles were released to the general public, we thought that it was the culmination of her plan. However, in Season 3's final moments, we get to understand that the plan was different, or, what's much more likely, Dolores had a change of heart. After all the terrible things she had seen, she eventually chose to focus on the glimmers of humanity's kindness rather than its evilness. In this respect, destroying the world order was a way to let the humans break their loops, created by Sarek, his troubled brother, and their super AI. And now, when humankind has a chance to rebuild their world, who's gonna lead them? Is Maeve the new Dolores now? No, I don't mean that Dolores has once again planted her personality onto another body. What she did was persuade Maeve to become her successor in the fight for freedom, both for the hosts and for the humans. Many times throughout Seasons 1 and 2, Dolores said that she preferred to hold on to the good things. And while in the beginning of the series it sounded naive, now it became a statement, which made Maeve share her beliefs. So after their prairie discussion, Maeve is ready to fulfill Dolores' plans of giving the world a second chance. And although she is still determined to reunite with her daughter, she and Caleb forge ahead to carry out Dolores' plan. Why Caleb is the chosen one? It turns out that Dolores had chosen Caleb as an ally for a good reason, and for a purpose. Every revolution needs a leader, so Dolores found someone who was a representative of mankind, capable of both ugly and generous things. The thing is that she had already met Caleb several years ago, when he was doing his military training at a Delos facility, and kept his men from taking advantage of the female hosts, even though he didn't know that they could be sentient. Moreover, Caleb has been branded by Rehoboam as an outlier, not because of his tendency towards violence, but because of his ability to make his own choices. And if he had the option, he would do no harm. So despite his fears that he could be evil, Caleb is the perfect candidate for the role of savior. Just as Dolores told him, it doesn't matter what you did, all that matters is what you become. And now, when he is freed from the loop created for him by Rehoboam, what other threats is he gonna face? Is Charlotte the new villain? You might say that this doesn't make sense, because Charlotte is actually Dolores, but that's not the whole story. Although she started as a copy of Dolores, the Charlotte we now know has been transformed by her very own traumatic experience, and her outlook on the world and humans has changed, seemingly making her pursue Dolores' original plan. She started with shutting down her initial self, Dolores, which resulted in her permanent death, and proceeded with something that Dolores has always been hesitant to do, despite all of the painful things that happened to her, which is killing William. Moreover, Charlotte is creating her own army, as we see in the post-credits scene. Is it over for the Man in Black? Throughout the entire 3 seasons, we saw William as both the Man in White and the Man in Black on a rotary basis. One thing's for sure. We can definitely call William the worst representative of humanity. In the season finale, he was on a mission to eradicate the hosts, but finally met an enemy worthy of his steel. Literally. A host version of William in the Man in Black getup slit his throat, while Charlotte watched with mixed emotions. It's safe to assume that now Charlotte gains control over the Delos company, and all of its facilities through William's duplicate. Moreover, it seems that now she has a general for her army. Why did Dolores send Bernard to his wife? This season, we didn't see much action on Bernard's side, and even less of the results, so the final episode was kind of a revelation. As you remember, the Lawrence copy of Dolores gave him an address of Arnold's real-life widow, Lauren. The two have a heart-to-heart talk about Arnold and Lauren's son Charlie, whom they lost tragically. And at the end of this meeting, Bernard is finally off his own loop, assigned to him by Robert Ford. Lisa Joy confirmed that this scene was meant to bring closure to Bernard, so he can move on from the past and be free. Furthermore, he now has a new sense of purpose and, as it turns out, the key to the Sublime. What's up with Bernard now? It is still unclear how he finds out that Dolores is gone and that he misjudged her. But with that in mind, he used the headset she gave him and drifted off to the valley beyond. What was he doing there? Whom did he meet? And what will his plans be after he returns to our world? All remain the biggest puzzle of Westworld so far. But in the post-credits, we see Bernard waking up in the same motel room at some point in the future, covered in dust. The only thing we know for sure is that this scene takes place after a super long time, as the co-writer of the final episode confirmed. What the Westworld finale means for Season 4? The next season of the show has already been confirmed. We can't wait to see where the inspired vision of master storytellers Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy takes us next, says the president of HBO programming Casey Bloys. It's highly unlikely that the filming will begin before 2021, so while we wait, here are our predictions for Season 4 of Westworld. The final episode of Season 3 can be regarded as one massive cliffhanger that sets things up for future events. The story will continue after a time jump, when Bernard comes back from the Sublime with a new plan of how to save the human race. Meanwhile, the end of the world that Sarek and his brother strive to hold off has actually happened. The host's world has been destroyed so that the sentient robots could be free. Will it be the same of the real world and the humans? It might be, if not for one additional factor: Charlotte. At the end of Season 3, she is in control of hundreds of printers and is making an undefined number of new hosts. And keeping in mind her scarred arm, which she proudly kept unhealed, she is definitely the new main antagonist of the show. Teamed up with the Man in Black, she might very well be chasing what is left of humanity, while opposed by Caleb and Maeve. As for Dolores, despite the death of her original version, she will definitely return as Lawrence. Also, it wouldn't be at all surprising that there are other copies of her mind stored somewhere. Of course, there are many other unanswered questions left from Season 3, and even more theories of what to expect from Season 4. So don't be shy to share your thoughts in the comments below. And stay with awesome movies!